Well, for those of you who are anticipating a big snowed-in kind of event, we apologize, but not too much. Because as we started to talk as pastoral team about what we wanted to do for worship today, we really thought that a year in review would be very inspirational and very hopeful to see what we have done as a congregation, as a gathered body of Christ. And so we started to put together some thoughts, and I have the pleasure of being the pastoral team member that gets to share some of those thoughts with you. You might notice I'm talking rather quickly because there was a lot going on. And so I'm going to take a deep breath, and then I'm just going to start reading. And I'm going to go, and I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to plow through as best I can. I know that I have likely missed some things. We have likely missed some things as we put together this list. Please hold those. Tell me afterwards. Maybe bring it up in prayer next week. It's awesome. The first thing I do want to point your attention to, though, is something that happened here at the end of the year, which was on the bulletin board. Right as you leave the sanctuary, you'll see our re-gifting bulletin board starting to take shape already. Last week, we gave away those $20 bills, and people have been out re-gifting those, spending those, and some really neat things have been coming to fruition. So take a look at that. If you didn't have a chance to re-gift yours yet or spend and fill out your card, be sure to do that because it's going to be a really beautiful bulletin board. So here goes a fast, fun, inspirational, and admittedly incomplete review of 2017 and the Elizabethtown Church of the Brethren's quest to follow Jesus and practice peace, service, and openness to all. Whether caring for the world or caring for one another, the ministries of this place are amazing. We lift one another up when times are difficult. For example, our deacon ministry. Families are supported during illnesses and in difficult life situations. Meals are lovingly cooked and home delivered. There are hospital visits. There are support visits made to those who are unable to get out of their homes. Communion is delivered. Funeral meals are prepared for hundreds of people to nurture family and friends sharing with one another. And our deacon body grew this year and is becoming stronger than ever. Our officers and board gave us forward-looking leadership this past year, and we expect the same in 2018. Our board and commissions provide the skeletal framework for just about everything we do as part of this congregation. Expressions undergirds our worship. Nurture helps us to connect. Resources does more than just keep the lights on. It manages a complex building and building staff. Witness has represented us and helped us to reach beyond ourselves locally and globally. Pastor Pam mentioned just a few of those things a moment ago. Christian education forms our faith together and individually. Just think of all the other ministries that these groups do. Brethren Buddies, junior and senior high events. The 50-plus group is up and going again. If you want more information on that, it's on the bulletin board out there. We also know how to eat. Church picnics, potlucks, fundraisers, Lenten home groups. We love food. I have some cookies up here too if anybody needs some. We held events to support immigrants and educate ourselves. We met dreamers in the fellowship hall at one point, just downstairs. We hosted an event to give legal advice to those who are on the cusp or we were afraid might be abused. We volunteer at the winter shelter and provide support for that. Faith formation opportunities are ever present. We give refugee resettlement and support. We sponsor the Run for Peace. We celebrate at our Golden Age dinner. We send video to partner congregations in Cincinnati and the Washington, D.C. area. And this ministry is poised to grow even more in 2018. We expect at least one or two more partner congregations to join us. Again, this is a partial list. I know I missed some things. But let me take a little breath here, because in 2017, if you've been reading any of the news media reports, if you've been watching especially the political cartoons, it's been branded as a terrible year. Hurricanes, natural disasters, our political climate, our country as a whole seems to be more divided, seems to be less civil. In 2017, some people even say that we got a little meaner. Racists are becoming bolder, anti-immigrant groups more vocal, anti-Muslim and anti-Jewish sentiments are running as high as I have seen in my lifetime anyway. And our congregational response, think about it. It's been firm, it's been resolute, it's been determined resistance to this hatred, while responding in Jesus' love. We continue to speak for and stand with those who are threatened and even acted out against, because we know that they are who Jesus would name as the least of these, certainly some of the most vulnerable in our population. And shockingly, here's what gets me. Shockingly, this straightforward care and love that we have been given has made us newsmakers. We are now one of the preeminent religious voices for peace and justice in the county, if not the region. We've been in the newspaper 4 or 5 times this year. When mosques and synagogues were sent threatening letters and we sent open letters of support to our brothers and sisters in faith, when we did the simple act of loving our neighbor by selling yard signs that said, "You're welcome," when racists and Nazis marched in Charlottesville and we spoke out, we made news. That was news that followers of Jesus were doing these pretty simple things. When we spoke on behalf of an immigrant who was unjustly arrested, we made television and print news. I think the Earl Cornelius, you know him from the Faith and Values section in the Lancaster paper, I'm pretty sure he's got us on speed dial now. Our denominational news outlets have also recently taken notice as of late, and we pastors are really proud to be part of a congregation that's willing to speak out about what is important. Not everybody is doing it, but we hope that if we do it, others will be emboldened to do so as well. It's also worth noting that, speaking of the pastors, you continue to take good care of us as pastors. You value our contributions. You empower us to keep growing professionally and personally. You encourage us to be healthy here in our ministry and in our homes and in our personal lives. Notable in 2017 was Pastor Pam's Sabbath rest, where she and Dave were able to go to Nigeria to be of support to the Church of the Brethren there, the EYN. And for all of this and more, we pastors want to thank you as a congregation. As a congregation, we also continue to reach out and worship. Our goal is to have a worship experience that enables everyone to participate and find God across generational boundaries, across boundaries of religious background. Musical highlights vary from soaring organ pieces to hip-hop originals and youth choir pieces. We are keeping brethren practices like Love Feast alive and well and vibrant. We've hosted some esteemed preachers like the president of the EYN Church, Joel Billy, David Radcliffe, J. Darrell Byler. Our worship services also often follow this series method where we are hoping to inspire and teach and help us all grow as followers of Jesus. Some of those, if we take a little trip down memory lane, include movies that inspire, texts of terror, re-gifting, and Remembrance Sunday. We lost some important members this past year. People who have been like bricks and mortar in this congregation. I don't know, we pastors, we look forward to seeing who will fill that space in between the bricks. Who will be the bricks for 2018 and the years that follow? And all of this that has been mentioned, all of this that hasn't been mentioned because it is too much for one time, we have continued an essential discussion about building renovation and addition. This building is aging. It supports all of these ministries that we've talked about. It continues to host hundreds of local families and children 6 days a week, providing a safe and educational place for children to learn and grow and play. If we don't do something about our building now, who will? Apologies for all that I have not mentioned once again, but at this moment, may we all give thanks for everything that has happened in this place, for the inspiration that it has provided for all of us, for the support materially that it has given to the world, to people right next door, for the love that has left these doors Sunday after Sunday. I give thanks. I hope you give thanks. I give thanks for what God is doing here and what God will continue to do in 2018.